we have a massive update regarding Kyrie Irving and his future with the Dallas Mavericks. And as we all know, he has one more year on his current contract, which is a player option for the next year. But the new reports are showing that he may opt out of that player option in lieu for a bigger contract. So in this video, we're going to take a look at all the information surrounding Kyrie Irving and his current deal, as well as his future deal. Take a look at the money and how do we actually make that work, as well as what does this mean for the future of the Dallas Mavericks. But how's it going, everybody? This is Marcel Martin. This is Mavs Digest, bringing the latest news on everything Mavericks related. And before we get started with this video, we're currently sitting at 14,863 subscribers. We're getting so close to that goal of 15K, less than 150 subscribers to go. But if you want to be up to date on everything Mavericks related, the live streams, the watch alongs, the news vids, and everything else in between, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on a single thing that we do. But all Mavericks fans know that Kyrie Irving has been a godsend for this franchise. And although a lot of people were unsure about the fit of Kyrie Irving and the Dallas Mavericks when we traded for him 2 years ago, where all the news surrounding him of he's a cancer in the locker room, he's a team killer, he's going to come in on an expiring contract, leave you with nothing, and go play with LeBron James in LA. But none of that was true, as the opposite has been true about Kyrie Irving. He's been a great locker room presence. He's helped this team make it all the way to the NBA Finals last year. He's been amazing for the young players and our more experienced players. Kyrie Irving deserves to be a Maverick long term, and I truly believe you give him whatever he wants, well within reason, so we can keep all the other players. And we're going to look at his stats so far for this season. He's putting up 23.9 points, 4.5 rebounds, 5.3 assists, 0.3 blocks, 1.3 steals, 1.9 turnovers, and 2.1 fouls per game, while shooting efficiently 53% from the field and 51% from three. He shoots 66% on corner threes, 58% of his threes are assisted, and 33% of all shots are threes. Kyrie Irving, no matter how old he gets, as he's only 32 years old, it doesn't matter. He continues to show that his game ages like fine wine. And again, he's been a godsend for the Dallas Mavericks, because we know how far this team has gone with Luka Doncic leading this team. But having someone like Kyrie Irving right next to him, it just takes his team to a whole nother level. And this year alone has proven that to be true yet again, as Kyrie Irving is playing at an all-star level, and it would be criminal if he doesn't get an all-star nod, although it seems like every year after year, someone gets snubbed. But I truly believe that Kyrie Irving deserves to get at least maybe that last all-star spot this upcoming season. But as we all know, Kyrie Irving has one more year on his current contract, and it is a player option for around $45 million. But it is being reported that he may opt out of that player option in lieu of a bigger extension down the road. If we take a look at the official reports, Tim and Man on Kyrie Irving's future in Dallas, saying the point is they have demonstrated we value you and we will pay you how much we value you within the ability to have a little bit of wiggle room financially. They're going to put a big number on the table for him. He has been extremely happy in Dallas. They're extremely happy with him. He's a leader of this locker room. That's unquestioned. And again, it's obvious. Kyrie Irving is huge for the Dallas Mavericks. He does everything right. He comes in, he plays hard. There's no weird narrative around him with the media other than the fact that he is very happy. We saw what happened to him in Brooklyn, and not to really step on that for too much, but it was a mess. They didn't manage Kyrie Irving right. When the media was attacking him, the team just kind of left him out to dry. They didn't defend him. No one spoke up for him. I mean, besides Kevin Durant, they have a very good relationship, but no one else was really trying to defend Kyrie Irving. It felt like the franchise cared about the franchise's image before they cared about the players. And in turn, Kyrie Irving was traded to the Dallas Mavericks, where it was the complete opposite. I mean, we're not a small market by any means. The media does have their eyes on Dallas. I mean, look at the Cowboys, right? But with the Dallas Mavericks, Kyrie Irving has been able to turn everything around and just focus on basketball. And that doesn't mean that he's changed in any way. Kyrie Irving is still Kyrie Irving. He's still an individual first. He is still Kyrie. But the fact of the matter is, he has a team that supports him. When he was fasting during Ramadan, we flew out a personal chef to all the games with Kyrie so he can have his meals. That's something that the Brooklyn Nets didn't do. I'm fairly certain that's something that the Boston Celtics also didn't do. The Dallas Mavericks, as an organization, they value Kyrie very much. And as fans, we also value Kyrie Irving very much. And I think that he's also helped Luka Doncic mature a little bit. We know Luka's amazing. He's a phenom. He's a generational talent. But even a generational talent like Luka Doncic could learn something from someone like Kyrie. And they've both said it themselves that they have grown one next to each other while they've been playing next to each other. But if we take a look right here, Tim McMahon does continue by saying, look, I'm not telling you exactly how it will work out. My guess is he'll end up declining that player option, which is for $42 million for the 2025-2026 season. But what I would say is I would be extremely surprised if Kyrie Irving is not in Dallas for the next few years. So what does that contract extension look like? We are not too sure, but we do know that they are in talks of keeping Kyrie Irving long term. And if he is declining a $42 million option in lieu of a bigger contract, well, how much bigger can it get? And it might just be a few extra $1 million. Kyrie Irving is 32 years old. People would say he's kind of declining, he's getting older, and I'd say that's not true. Kyrie Irving is the type of player where his game will extend until his last game in the NBA. Kyrie Irving can retire whenever he wants. When you play like Kyrie, where it's more skill-based and not really physical, that doesn't deteriorate as much as someone like Shaquille O'Neal, someone who did play physically with his body, and that wear and tear definitely aged very fast. Or you have a player like Chris Paul, who still plays at an elite level over there in San Antonio next to Wemby, but it's because he plays more skill-based, that's going to last a lot longer. And Kyrie Irving definitely plays skill-based. He's very methodical. I mean, he's shooting 50% from three. That's knowing your shots. That's knowing how to play the game of basketball. That's knowing to let the game come to you. And with all of that being said, Kyrie Irving can play well deep into his 30s. I think a 3-year contract, maybe close to 150 years, $150 million for 3 years. I think that would definitely work. That 150, $50 million each year, make it a 2-year with a player option on the third. I personally think that would be great for Kyrie. I think it'd be great for the team. But we are in that first apron. We don't have too much wiggle room. So do we go into that second apron? Do we actually extend Kyrie Irving to the point where we are now in that second apron? We're a second apron team. But you have to ask yourself this. Is this team good enough to compete for a championship while in that second apron? When you look across the NBA, teams like the Phoenix Suns, who are in the second apron, who are nowhere near seeing an NBA Finals as they're on a 5-game losing streak. And although they don't have Kevin Durant, that doesn't bode well for them. They don't have a lot of wiggle room to keep players. They don't have a lot of wiggle room to extend players. They are probably going to be very active during the trade deadline to try and make room in that second apron. And although I think Nico Harrison's done an amazing job of managing all the contracts and all the money and making sure players get paid what they're supposed to get paid, I do believe you do need to break the bank for someone like Kyrie Irving. Maybe not for someone like, I'd still think you got to keep Dwight Powell no matter what, but we do have a few players on expiring contracts like a Dante Exum where you may need to see him go, or maybe players like Maxi Kleber who I don't want to see go, but if you've got to make the tough choices, you got to look at some contracts, trade away players for expiring deals to make room for other players that you do prioritize. And I'm not saying trade Maxi, I'm not saying you got to get rid of him, just as an example. Certain players that are making a certain amount of money may need to be moved so you can keep Kyrie. And another thing that we're going to look at right here, that Kyrie Irving does have a $43.9 million player option for the 2025-2026 season, but his current play indicates he can earn much more than that on the open market. Irving is averaging 24.3 points, 5.2 assists, and 4.3 rebounds in 14 games for Dallas in the 2024-2025 season, and has helped the team start the season 8-7. This comes after the franchise reached the NBA Finals in 2023-2024, and Dallas should remain a contender in the Western Conference this season and beyond. The Mavericks currently have $526,000 in first apron space and $11.9 million in second apron space per Spotrac. For Irving to get a raise, the team may have to get rid of some depth pieces in dip into that second apron. So like I said, some players may be moved. We may have to let some people go, not extend other players so we can keep Kyrie, so we can give him a fairly decent contract. And I don't think it would be anything crazy. I don't think we're going to let Najee Marshall go. I don't think we're going to let Quentin Grimes just go. Even though Quentin Grimes, he is a restricted agent. He is a restricted free agent at the end of this year. He did not extend with the team. He's trying to fight for a bigger contract, rightfully so. From what I heard, we did offer him a contract similar to Najee Marshall, which he did decline. But who's to say that by the extension deadline, he just takes the exact same thing? That could very much well happen, especially if this team is still competitive, if this team looks good. Quentin Grimes may be like, hey, I'll take that contract. I want to stay here long term. We've got something good going on. Let's make it happen. And for Kyrie Irving to be on a $43 million player option for next year, that's only a few $1 million differences between $43 and $50 million. So that $7 million has to come from somewhere. So let's take a look at the salaries. Let's see where everybody is currently sitting at and where we can kind of shave off some money. Right now, it shows that Dwight Powell for next year got $4 million. That's his last year or that's the last year of his current deal. You got to keep him. But as far as expiring contracts, like I said, Quentin Grimes, he's a restricted free agent. We will most likely extend him. He's been playing phenomenal lately, and if that continues, he will be back. But if you look at Dante Exum, that $3 million on this current deal for this season, and then he's gone. So maybe we let Dante go so we can free up some cap space. If you look at Markieff Morris, although he is really here with Kyrie Irving, I don't really see any way that we don't bring back Markieff Morris and we keep Kyrie. It's a very weird situation. Markieff and Kyrie are kind of a package deal in a very weird way, but if it makes Kyrie happy, you kind of have to do it. Somewhat similar to how the Bucks with Giannis and his brother, you kind of have to make it happen. But if you look at Spencer Dinwiddie, that's $2 million right there, and I'm not that down on Spencer right now. I was kind of up and down at the beginning of the season. He did hit some nice threes in yesterday's game, so there is some value there for Spencer Dinwiddie. Maybe we get Spencer and Dante on cheaper contracts so we can then supplement that money over to Kyrie. I'm not too sure how you make that happen. I'm not the GM. That's up to Nico Harrison on how he wants to do it. But I think there is a way to give Kyrie Irving a extension that he deserves, that is still a team-friendly extension, that keeps the pieces together. We don't want to break the bank too much for Kyrie to the point where we have to get rid of pieces and then we just kind of fall apart. I think Kyrie also understands that we do need to keep certain players together, but I know that he understands his own value, and if he wants a bigger contract, I think we can work it out. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below. Do you think 3 years, $50 million is good enough for Kyrie? Do you think he needs more or less? Let me know what you think. We can have a conversation about it. But that's all I got for you guys today. Thank you for making this far to the video. Make sure to check out our Twitter and Discord. Links in the description below. Consider becoming a channel member. We are doing giveaway every single month on this channel. And the only way to enter into our giveaways is to become a channel member of any tier. But till next time, y'all take care. Drink water. Peace.